Welcome to another video from the Vacation Rental Formula. Today we're talking about using a vacation rental property manager and specifically the questions that you need to ask before you engage a third party to work for you. This video is brought to you and kindly supported by Avalara MyLodgeTax. Avalara remits the hospitality and lodging taxes that you collect from your guests and makes life a lot easier when it comes to settling up your your hospitality taxes every quarter. My name's Heather Bayer. I am the CEO of Cottage Link Rental Management. We're an Ontario-based property management company and manage around 180 properties. I'm also the co-founder of the Vacation Rental Formula, and that brings you an array of training videos, weekly discussions, and a lot of help and advice in setting up not only your property, but for you if you're starting a small property management company. So why use a third-party property manager? Well, there's usually three reasons. You want to be completely hands-off. You've invested in a property, you don't want anything to do with it, but you want to collect the income from it. And that is a great reason. It's why the majority of owners actually do use a property manager rather than doing it themselves. Another reason is, particularly in a first year, that you can use their marketing reach and experience. Most property management companies have been in business a long time. They have a lot of traffic coming to their website, and you can use that wealth of experience and their breadth of marketing to bring the first season of rental guests to your property, and maybe do that for a couple of years before they move on to do it themselves. Thirdly, some people will use a property management company because they want to use the on-site services, the cleaning, the management, and the maintenance, but they're quite happy to do the renting themselves. So the first thing to say really that it's a partnership. I know this from managing a company and dealing with over 500 owners in the last 14 years we have dealt with. And the only way, from my perspective, to do that properly is to see it as a partnership. It's a relationship. We feel a huge responsibility when we take care of somebody else's property and we put rental guests in there. And we do rely on the owners to provide us with a well-maintained, well-equipped, and amenity-filled property, and we do see it as a partnership. So certainly bear that in mind if you're thinking about using a property management company. So there's several types of property management company. What I'd call a full-service company is one that does absolutely everything. They're marketing, they're advertising, they're doing all the property management and maintenance. They may well even furnish and decorate the property for you, or at least make all those arrangements. Secondly, is some companies, and there are a lot of those around, my own included, that just do the rental management. They just do the administration and marketing and allow you to do your own property management and maintenance. And sometimes it's because the property management company has such a wide reach of locations. For example, here in Ontario, we have locations 7 hours from our office one way and 6 hours the other way, and we just don't have that facility to manage cleaning and maintenance across all our properties in all the different locations. So that's another type. A third type would be perhaps a company that just does pure property management, which means they just do the cleaning and maintenance. So you might use one rental management company and a cleaning and maintenance company, for example. And then finally, there are some large companies such as Vacasa, Evolve, Turnkey. You may have heard of those. Those are very, very large companies that have a big head office, and then they have smaller offices in very many locations. So it's a little like the full service company, but they are allied to a much larger core company. So those are the types of property management company you might come across. So when you're looking for a property management company, you will have to think of all the questions that you want to ask them. So you want to make a list of all those questions, and then you take them to each company and see how best they answer. And here's some examples of some questions that you might want to ask. Before that, let me just say briefly how property managers operate. They take responsibility for your property. They take them on board. We usually put them on a website. They market them, they advertise them, and they take the bookings. And that may be through a multitude of sites such as Airbnb or HomeAway or TripAdvisor. And then they will tell you when they've got those bookings, and send you a check or pay into your bank account at the end of a rental period. So it's pretty simple. Most property management companies operate in the same way. If they're offering cleaning and maintenance services, then they will have their own cleaning teams that go in at the end of every rental and do the changeovers. But when thinking about the questions you're going to ask property management companies, it's important to remember that you are still the owner of the property. You can have as much control or as little control as you want. So you might want to think over that beforehand. Now, every property management company will ask you to complete a management agreement. And on that management agreement will be some contractual questions. So some of these things that you want to find out is, what is their minimum contract period? Are they going to ask you to sign up for a year or 2 years or 5 years? Do they want to take all of your weeks for the entire year? Or are they going to allow you some usage of your own? So you want to know how are they handling the times when you want to use your own property. And it's very important that you clarify this at the outset. We don't want you to find that you take on a property management company and find that you then have to pay for your own use of your property, which has been the case in some situations. You'll want to know how many weeks must be guaranteed. Some companies only ask for a few weeks. Others will ask for maybe 30 weeks of the year to make it worth their while. So those are just a few of the contractual questions you need to consider. You'll also want to ask questions about the amenities and the features of the property that the company is going to require from you. Some of the high-end companies want some very high-end amenities. They want the highest quality linens. They want the best furniture, the stainless steel appliances. Everything must be absolutely 5-star. So find out at the outset, what are the minimum requirements and standards? And most property management companies should be able to supply you with a list of those minimum standards. So let's say you're pet friendly, or you're in an area where pet friendly properties are common. Find out how they handle pet friendly properties. Do they charge a pet fee, a pet cleaning fee? Who does that fee go to? Does it go to you for allowing the pets to come into your property? Does it go to the management company to pay for cleaners, or is it split? There's a lot of questions that you need to think about if you are going to accept pets. And if you're not going to accept pets, please ask the company how they handle requests for service dogs. Now, this is one of those questions that comes up over and over again on the Facebook groups, and there's always a lot of response. So it's definitely worthwhile, if you are very anti-pets, finding out what would happen if a family with a service dog wanted to come to your property. Find out who provides the linens. Some companies want you to provide the linens, but they may want them to be of a particular standard. How are they laundered? Are they sent out to a laundry company? Are they laundered on site? Just think about all these little things in terms of your amenities and features. So next, the operational questions. How does a property management company operate your property? How do they deal with damage? Let's say somebody knocks over something onto a carpet and you have a large stain on the carpet. How are they going to deal with that? Who pays for it? At what point does your rental insurance kick in? How do they handle damage deposits? These are very important things to find out. How are the changeovers managed? This is not so important if you're completely hands-off, because they're going to look after that. And as long as you're getting good reviews for the property because the changeovers are being managed really well, then you shouldn't need to worry too much about it. But if they're using local companies and you may do some of your own rentals and maybe you want to use their services to manage your changeovers, that's definitely something that you need to bring up. And that moves on to who actually does the cleaning. Is it a local person? Is it a management company? Are they employed by the property management company, or are they brought in? So have a think about what you need to find out about how the property is managed operationally. Let's talk about marketing. You need to know what channels your property is going to be marketed on. At the very least, it should be on HomeAway and VRBO. Ask about Booking.com, about TripAdvisor. Are they putting it on Airbnb? And how are the house rules represented when they put it on Airbnb? Do they use dynamic pricing? Are you going to find that in the low season, your rental income suddenly goes way down because the property management company is using dynamic pricing and offering a very, very low rate? And will you be informed when the rates are adjusted? How will they feature your property? A property management company could have 200, 300, 400 properties on their books. How is yours going to stand out? How are they going to make sure that you get as many bookings as everybody else? And finally, of course, you need to ask the financial questions. You need to know what the commission rate is. That's really, really important. How much you're going to pay out of your income to the property management company. And bear in mind that when they're telling you what the commission rate is, that they are paying fees to all the channels to advertise your properties on. And one of the things I would say is don't nickel and dime on this. A percentage point or two is not worth choosing an inferior company, because you do get what you pay for. Ask if there's any additional charges. Are there any annual fees, fees to be listed on their website? Some companies do add on additional fees for additional services. Find out how and when you'll get paid. Most property management companies will pay you after the vacation has commenced, because that's what they have to do by law. So certainly find that out, and you wouldn't normally expect to be paid before the guests arrive. And who pays the lodging taxes? That's definitely something that's important to find out, because if the property management company don't pay the lodging taxes, you may find that you have to pay that out of the income that is sent to you. So of course, Avalara MyLodgeTax is available to help you out with that. So I've created a list of all these questions and a few more, and if you just go below here, and you can find the link to that handout. I hope you enjoyed that training video. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this training with the vacation rental formula, consider joining our Formula Club, which is an exceptional training platform for vacation rental owners and property managers to help with every aspect of your business. So whenever you get stuck or need a question answered, the Formula Club is your ultimate resource, with weekly question and answer sessions, training manuals, workbooks, checklists, just about everything you need to operate an independent business, whether it's just one property or 50. So head on over to the vacationrentalformula.com and get on our waiting list for the next time we open up for new members. Thanks for joining us.